Hello and welcome to My Take, brand new podcast on civil rights for Wind River. This is my first time. I'm flying solo. I did invite some folks to come on, but I'll tell you what, everybody's scared of the man. The system is rough on the res, and people are scared. I don't got nothing to lose. I've been there, done that. I really don't have anything to lose, so here I am, y'all. So, just like advertised, we're going to go over the informational meeting that happened last night. And let's go ahead and get this started. I had this all set up. Okay, great. So, this new show is called My Take. And that basically means that this is my opinion. These are all my opinions. And so, with that being said, I also have a good friend in the studio with me. He's a little camera shy, so he's kind of off to the side. Why don't you say hey to everybody?
Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, oh, yeah, hey. Okay, so he is a young Northern Arapaho tribal member. I'm an old Arapaho tribal member, so this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be good.
It's going to be great.
If you have any questions, let me know, and feel free to join the conversation whenever you feel so inclined. So we're going over the informational meeting that happened this past Wednesday. Just a couple days before General Council. General Council is supposed to be this Saturday. And that has been pretty much a solid, for sure, date for General Council. And then the Business Council was there like, wait, hold up a second. We got to put our little stamp of approval and our little, toot our horns before the actual General Council. So this is kind of a spur of a moment thing. So I went to it. A 2-hour meeting, y'all. 2-hour meeting out at Great Plains. And I will say, for a beautiful brand new building or refurbished building, their sound system sucked. So everybody in the whole auditorium was struggling to hear what was being said, and I gleaned what I could to bring you this feedback here today. But it was a struggle. It was a challenge. And if any of you know anyone else out there who tried to go to the meeting last night, can testify that it sucked. Sound system sucked. Okay, so whenever you signed in, you were met with this guy, Mr. Martin Armejo, who is the tribe's HRO currently. I don't have a problem with Martin. I have a working relationship. I had a working relationship with him, and I've never had a run-in with the man, but he is. If you don't know him, he looks very intimidating. And I didn't have a problem, but however, I could see how somebody could be kind of intimidated by this guy. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see that. He's definitely got that look to him. I like his hair.
Yeah, I kind of got that going too, but I wear a hat. But it's kind of, I don't have a full streak thing going, but it's kind of sparkly, streaky.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of cool.
He doesn't look scary. You wouldn't be intimidated. Well, you were at the sign-in. This is who you were met by, Mr. Martin Armejo. Okay, and he used to be a tribal judge. Look at that. All right, so you sign in. You have a seat. They queue up the terrible sound system. You're struggling to hear everything. Here's your Northern Arapaho Business Council members who are present. You have your fearless leader, Chairman Lloyd Goggles, who did not say a peep. He didn't say a word.
Wow.
Yeah, he kind of sat there and glared at the crowd the whole time. And it was Martin Armejo who was kind of up, and he was kind of like the MC of it. And Martin also gave the crowd the decorum speech. How, okay, everybody, we're going to be respectful. I mean, we're just sitting there chilling, waiting for this thing to start. It started at like 20 after 6, anyways. So we're just kind of like sitting there, and nobody was even really pissed off that it was starting late. And so we're there, and we're just kind of chilling, being quiet, waiting for it to start. And then Martin gets up and gives us the decorum speech.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And if you don't act right, you're going to get kicked out, and, the whole 9 yards. And I didn't pick up on any, vibes of anybody being pissed off or wanting to get in council's face. I didn't pick up on that vibe at all. But anyways, we had our fearless leader, Lloyd Goggles, who did not say a word during the whole affair, but, gave that old stink eye. We had Mr. Jared Whitebull, and he's the one who took the spot of Mr. Lee Spoonhunter's seat. And there's kind of a big rigmarole about that. Some people aren't pleased and how that all went down. Mr. Lee Spoonhunter just kind of said, "Peace out, man. I got things to do. I'm no longer a gatekeeper here." He ran out his term limits. And so he couldn't run. He can't run for council during this time frame. So he's there like, you know what? I'm just gonna jump somewhere else so I can be in charge and be a gatekeeper somewhere else. So he abandoned his responsibility as a council member. I mean, I say that out loud, and it's disgusting. How do you feel about that?
Well, if you didn't want that position, you shouldn't have applied for it. And somebody far better should have gotten it.
He's been in there forever. He's been in there he termed out. So, yeah, it's really kind of weird and selfish to jump ship and just say, whatever, it's about me. I want to be the director of 477 program, and I want to be on the election committee. And I think he wanted to be on the election committee so he can somehow mess with the upcoming election. That's what I think. That's what I think.
So he can get his people in.
Ooh. Something to think about, folks. And I did run for council in 2022, so I know what the process is all about. And it's paperwork, it's a drug test, it's a debt analysis. And there's a big issue with the election judges, too. My friend is an election judge, or was an election judge, and the next thing you know, she's out. And Lee's in with not a lot of documented process. It was just kind of like, okay, like chess pieces moving on a board and no real communication. It's just like checkmate.
Are these people elected anyway?
The election judges I think they're appointed, and it does fall under the business council right now. And I think there's a move during general council to move that responsibility over to general council and take it away from the northern business or the business council. I believe that's on the itinerary. We'll go over the general counsel agenda here at the end. But I do believe they're appointed. But it's supposed to be for 8 years. And some of the people that were taken off the election committee had not met that 8-year
interesting
tenure. Yeah, so that is going to be addressed during general counsel. All right, so Jared, White Bull. Wow, when I saw him, wow, he is like a really, and this is my take. He strutted across the gymnasium like, you know,
he owned the place.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of smug. I was not impressed. I wasn't impressed. And then he got up and he spoke, and I'll go over the different points that they talked about, but not really good public speakers, any of our council members, I must say.
Yeah, could you hear something in his voice that just wasn't too confident, or?
No, it wasn't that. It was just they gave him like softballs.
Oh.
He gave announcements that you know, anybody could give him. He's supposed to be the, you know, councilman. Anyways, not impressed with Mr. Jared White Bull. I don't know if he's running for re-election. I know Mr. Lloyd Goggles had on his Facebook. That's where I got these pictures from. Their Facebook profiles. So, according to Mr. Lloyd Goggles' Facebook page, he's seeking re-election. I would assume all of them are. I don't know for sure. I don't have the candidate list, and the only people who should have the candidate list, I guess, are those election judges at this point. Moving on, Karen returns to war. She was there. Keenan Grosbeck was in the house. Teresa His Chase, and of course, my favorite, Kim Whiteman Harjo. So they did all make it there. I guess they're the ones who called it, so they should be there, right? I don't know. Let's continue on here. Let's throw up a little bit of information for folks. How does that look?
That looks good.
Yeah, this is our Facebook page, y'all. Check it out. I keep it updated. Good little tidbits of information. And I also have, this is the general counsel announcement, Facebook page, and our YouTube. This is where we're streaming live today. It's on our YouTube.
So, do you think we're gonna make the quorum for the next general counsel?
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of chatter on Facebook, but that's happened before in the past. That there's a lot of chatter. People seem upset. You know, we're gonna angry mob mentality or whatever, and it doesn't happen. But I have seen Ms. Kim Whiteman Harjo outside of the meeting place with her family, refusing to go inside and get counted for quorum. I have seen personally, this is not hearsay, and there's something that I want to kind of establish with the show right off the bat, is I don't like rumors, I don't like hearsay, but I've experienced a lot of things firsthand. So I have a lot of firsthand experience, and I saw with my own personal, these two eyes, Kim, and one of these two, I believe it was Teresa His Chase, but okay, I'm not going to speculate. But one of the other two female council members also, I've seen loitering outside with her family and not going inside and refusing to be counted to make quorum. So if that happens again, guess who's going to have their phone out?
We'll do a live stream.
We'll do a live stream. No, we're not allowed to do that.
In a public place, you can.
Well, not inside. I mean, but if I'm walking out and, because, I mean, they do it. Just, like, no shame in their game. I almost ran into her. Because if they don't make quorum, I don't stick around. Because we're not going to get any business done. And it's on the weekend, and I usually have stuff to do. So the minute they don't make quorum, and I've been trying to back out of tribal politics, but yeah, here I am. I'm back because I was asked to come back, not necessarily to do this podcast. This is just a platform that I use in my daily. I have another podcast that I do that's getting syndicated. Dog Days, you should check it out. Anyways, shameless plug. Moving on, this podcast, it was just an opportunity to get information out and give my take, and it's kind of therapeutic.
Yeah.
I mean, who else am I going to talk to about this? I mean, you
gotta tell the people what's going on.
Yeah, and let the people know what's going on. All right, so let's move on. All right, so the first topic that was talked about was the Supreme Court victory, and Councilwoman Harjo got up and she was all excited about this, like it's something she did herself, like personally. And it is good news. I don't want to take away from the fact that this is good news. So back in June, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in favor of Native American tribes, including the Northern Arapaho tribe in Wyoming, that the government is to reimburse tribes for healthcare insurance billing fees, which is in the millions of dollars.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I mean, tribal money is, we don't talk hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, we talk millions regularly. And when I say we, I was the human resource officer for the Intertribal Council for 3.5 years. So I did walk the halls of tribal government, and this is what I saw with my own two eyes. So this is a big deal. Folks who have some bills or outstanding bills, you may want to get with Wind River Healthcare's folks and see if you can't get those taken care of, because there was a Supreme Court victory. The thing about this is that, she kind of got up there and it was something she came up with, like she drafted the legislation, or she went to the White House and made this happen. It's definitely good news, but I mean, I got this off the internet.
I'm trying to take credit for it.
Yeah. I mean, okay. This came out in June, so it's been out for a minute. And like I said, I got this off the internet. Good job, Kim. All right. So moving on, Mr. Grossbeck got up and, well, he didn't get up. Something's wrong with him. He broke something. He was on crutches. But he gave a quick rundown of the Pilot Butte power plant. Have you heard about this?
No.
Okay, so it is all in the news, and the tribes are all upset about it. This is a picture of Mr. Martell, and I believe he's with the Yellowstone. He's with an environmental group. Let me go ahead and bring up. I'm going to bring up, the actual thing here. All right, so this is Mr. Martell, and he is at a little power plant that has been dilapidated down around, like in the pavilion area. They call it Midvale. As you can see here, it says pavilion here. So this is Mr. Wes Martell, and he is telling the YO File interviewer how this is a federal land grab. It is, but it isn't. In my take, it is, but it isn't. This is land. There's there's quite a bit of land out there that should already be signed over to the tribes, but it hasn't because someone's not doing their job. And of course, the federal government isn't in a rush to sign any land over to the tribes, especially federal land. Okay, so this land has been in languish. It's supposed to be signed over to the tribes through a process, and they have not been doing the federal government has not been doing the process to return land to the tribes. Is that a shocker? Does that surprise you?
No. I do have a question. So can tribal land only be owned by a tribal member?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, no, because the BIA leases tribal land to white ranchers.
Okay.
There are acres and acres of land out there that are tribal lands that managed by the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and they have what are called like long-term leases, and they kind of count that as like part of their property parcel. I've seen that. I have property out in Kinnear. I have 80 acres of private property paid for with a title. It's only tribal land in that me and my family live there. But I've seen other properties and ranches for sale out there, and they include that as like their property parcel, as like a long-term lease. And like it adds to their property value or something. So, right. It can, our lands can be leased out to whoever, the highest bidder. Okay, so back to this. This is what Mr. Grossbeck got up and kind of shared with the group, briefed us on what the Arapaho tribe was doing. So there's a derelict or abandoned power plant right here that is actually owned by federal. The feds own this, okay? However, a group called, the Midvale Irrigation District. This white dude right here, okay? Midvale Irrigation District guy was there like, let's go and try to take over this dilapidated, neglected little power plant. And it is a land grab in that respect, but it's federal land that should have been turned over to us a long, long time ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So really the bad guys in all of this is this Midvale Irrigation District. And if anybody's familiar with Midvale, it's a beautiful, luscious, green, like Garden of Eden, like on the reservation, because they diverted water from the reservation to different ranches there that are not native ranches, and they're growing wonderful things like alfalfa and beautiful produce and that sort of thing. So this is a sticky situation, and it's very unfortunate. And I believe Senator Barrazo has a bill, and then Harriet Hageman also has a bill helping this to happen, helping this guy, this dude right here, get access to that derelict power plant. Now, why was it derelict? Why was it derelict? And so this is my take. My take is somebody's not doing their job, or a lot of people aren't doing their job in this situation. Where is the tribal water engineer? Where is the water board? They should have a list of all of our water resources on the reservation and be bringing up to the tribes, hey, we have this over here, we have that over there, and give us dollar amounts of what we need to do, because power is a premium. We have oil wells that are kind of sucking on power or whatever, or so I've heard. So, and then homes too. I mean, bottom line, right? So if somebody's not doing their job, get tribal water engineers. I believe that the tribal water engineer is a guy named Luquilos St. Clair. Tribal members, call up your tribal water engineer, Mr. Luquilos St. Clair, and tell him to get off his butt and do his job. That office, whenever I was a human resource officer, I heard about it a lot. They're called ditch riders, and I would get calls at the HR office because they're an intertribal program, and people saying, hey, there's this guy over here, he's in a tribal truck and he's like asleep. He's been like over here, he drives over here and he goes under a tree and he sleeps all day.
Wow, I believe it.
I've had calls like that. And by the time I get a call like that, I would get a call like that, it's already like a tip of the iceberg thing. It always is. There's more. Always more. So people not doing their jobs, and now we're in this situation. So this article had kind of featured two Shoshone people, two Shoshone advocates here. We had Mr. Wes Martell and Mr. Ute. I had some serious issues with Mr. Ute, but I digress at this time, just for the sake of time, because we have a lot to cover. Okay, so, and then if you want to check out this article for yourself, here's the link. But as far as the Northern Arapaho tribe is concerned, Mr. Groesbeck said, and I'm quoting kind of loosely because the sound system did suck. He said, I saw this weird bill. Okay. I saw this weird bill and I contacted Senator Barrazo's office, and I guess he got kind of bounced around a little bit. He was then asked to go over to the governor's office, and he was just kind of like bounced around. I think he even had Loomis involved at one point. He believes that the Northern Arapaho tribe did their due diligence because they went to the water board and said, what the heck? What's going on here? So in their minds, they have done their due diligence, and now it's up to a lobbyist in DC. So that's where the Northern Arapaho tribe stands on this issue. All right, moving forward. Solid waste. Mr. Groesbeck continued on with solid waste. From what I could make out, they're going to get money back from the Intertribal Council. I guess Intertribal Council isn't managing the programs and the program monies of the joint program monies very well. I mean, if the Northern Arapaho tribe is asking for their half of it back so they can do their own thing with it and combine it with EPA grants to take care of their people, what does Intertribal do?
It makes you wonder what they're spending that money on.
Yeah, exactly. It's my understanding that solid waste is pretty much a mess and a disaster, and folks are kind of fed up with it. That's health. That's your health. If you're not properly disposing of waste or whatever. I mean, come on now. I was in the military. I've been deployed. I've been in some dirty places, okay? And you got to be able to get rid of your waste properly. That's health, your health and safety of yourself and your families. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Helps prevent diseases and all kinds of stuff from getting out.
Oh yeah. And who knows? I mean, you got to be careful what seeping down into your water, seeping down into your aqueducts and whatnot. Okay, but Mr. Rosebuck said that they're going to be diverting money from Intertribal. They're going to be getting more EPA grants. And, of course, they're going to crack down on the people as well. Stiffer penalties in the SALOC for illegal dumping.
Is that illegal dumping anywhere in the res?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're not taking your junk and your solid waste to one of these transfer stations, that's illegal dumping. You can't just, kick stuff out the back of your truck going down the highway.
Yeah.
And so, who's going to do the ticketing for all this illegal dumping, all the dumping? The BIA cops?
Exactly. And it's like, you find a piece of trash on the road, it's going to be hard to find out who dropped it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this kind of stuff really pisses me off when it has to do with the health and safety of the people, and that is should be number one priority of the Northern Arapaho Business Council, the Business Council. All right, so where are we at? Pilot Butte Power Plant. I went over that. We just covered solid waste. Not too much to report on that. Where's Arapaho Ranch? I think they gave a really quick. Let me take. Yeah. Oh, there we go. One-liner. Arapaho Ranch. Fuels on Top got up and said, from what I could make out from the terrible sound system, not much to report. A lot of new construction going on.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. I don't think they have a clue. That was that was her report. Wow.
Not a lot to go on there, huh?
No, I've been told, and here we go with the hearsay thing, and I wanted to stay away from that. I'm curious, if there's someone affiliated with Arapaho Ranch that wants to come on the podcast and tell us what's going on out there, we'd appreciate it. This is a resource that's supposed to be for the people. And we don't hear hiding our hair. New construction going on. Nothing to see here. All right. Fields on Top and continued with Indigenous Day. The sound system, again, I'm trying to make out what all she was saying about the Episcopal Church and artifacts. There's supposed to be some event happening on Indigenous Peoples Day, so keep your ears open for that. More to follow, because it was kind of hard to follow during the meeting. But artifacts, how do you feel about that?
What kind of artifacts are you talking about? TV circles, arrowheads?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to, whenever this event is announced in a comprehensive way, I guess we'll have to go and check it out.
I hope it's some petroglyphs.
I don't know. There is something going on with the petroglyphs and the Tribal Relations Committee. That's when legislators come down from the state and they talk about stuff like that. So petroglyphs are being talked about. but it's being talked about with the state agencies. Which is kind of weird, but I guess it all works out. All right, so my take continues. His Chase was very excited about the Solar for All grant, and this is another one of those topics that I don't believe that they actually spearheaded this initiative. It's called the Northern Plains Tribe Solar for All program. It's an EPA initiative, and it's to hook up disadvantaged communities with solar systems. And so the program funding down here, the Northern Plains Tribal Coalition, is a partnership of 14 indigenous nations, and they received over $135 million in funding for this program. Okay? So we're going to get, a piece of this $135 million.
Yeah, and I like solar. And the one thing that is bad about solar is that it's expensive to get started.
Well, apparently, I was during the meeting yesterday. The housing units, the tribal housing is supposed to get it first, and then it's supposed to trickle down to individual houses. So more to follow on that, I guess. My question is, what's going to happen when a major hailstorm hits the res and takes out the solar panels?
No, there's going to be a lot of broken solar panels.
That does happen.
Or a windstorm, we get very high winds here.
And then the snow pack, you're going to have to get up there and clean off your solar panels. And then if it's a gray day, you better hope your battery, that's another thing, is the battery. I mean, how many batteries are going to be floating around the reservation? Because the solar panel goes to a battery, which powers your house.
Yeah.
So now you have all these crazy batteries. What are they made out of? Are they made out of...
Not good stuff.
Yeah. Unless they're hemp batteries. There are hemp batteries. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
But do you see where I'm going with this? You know? I mean...
There's got to be a place where you can take all this stuff, get disposed of when you're done with it.
Yeah, what's the shelf life of these crappy batteries that, are full of whatever?
Lithium?
I don't know. Hey, if we have a solar expert out there or something and you want to come on and give a talk or a spiel about solar, you want to enlighten us on something, because if they're not hemp batteries that you're hooking these tribal houses up with, I mean, is it going to be like an electric car that blows up? Catches fire spontaneously?
Only time will tell.
Oh my God. Well, they were fired up about this. They were fired up about it. I like solar too, but as a passive.
Yeah.
Not necessarily how I want to get through a harsh Wyoming winter.
Yeah. It's not as reliable as, city power or a generator.
Right. Well, they were all excited about it. They think that this is your business council. They think that they're going to generate so much electricity, they're going to be able to sell some back to High Plains Power.
How do you sell power? How does that work?
Oh, you can. There's programs out there with people who are doing solar right now, and there's a way that they are. I would have to look it up, but yeah, there is a way to sell back power to High Plains Power. It's not going to happen in this instance. You figure a whole house running, a whole housing community running off of solar. I don't know. Anyways, they're all very excited about this Solar for All grant. This is the name of it, the Northern Plains Solar for All. It's on the web, on the internet. Another one of these things I didn't really even need to go to the business council meeting for, and she made it sound like it was like her idea, or council's idea. They spearheaded this initiative. How many man hours did the actual council, spend on getting this program? I digress.
And I think that's time they could have spent doing other things. And maybe this money would be better off used on other things too. Like, maybe adding some more stuff to the reservation so it's not so empty.
Yeah, there was just a shout out on Facebook, and I believe it was on Northern Arapaho Tribe Facebook page. It's like, Lee and Business Council, you're doing a great job. Stick in there. Not everybody's out to get you. You might feel down, but you've got this. You've done great things. And I'm there like, they've had 2 years in office. Lee's been in there forever. And this place is still a dump. You all are swimming in your own solid waste. Does it get any worse than that?
How long has that hot springs been closed down for?
I don't know. I mean, what a nice tourist. And I put on my I put on one of my Facebook pages. I keep my running Holly for Northern Arapaho Business Council. I keep that page going, so I have an outlet for my political views on things. And I put on there is a grant specifically for tourism on native reservations, and it's like millions of dollars for tourism. And I mean, why don't you? There you go. There's a grant. Apply for it and get that money, and bring those hot springs back. I don't get. They're healing. They're healing. Anyways, I got to keep moving on. I don't want to be on here for more than an hour. Okay, I was kind of hoping I would be off before then. But anyways, good questions. Good questions. All right, so what's next? Solar for All grant. I think we pretty much went over that. It's in the planning stages is what they're saying. They're looking for a program manager, and there's going to be an installer. They're going to need like an army, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll never see. We won't see it in my lifetime. Maybe your lifetime. Not in mine. All right, moving on. Okay, so White Bull did get up, and these are the softballs that they gave him. They gave him, just upcoming announcements, like vote for Ivan Posey. Okay. They're like, the voting season is coming up. We are encouraging everyone here to vote for Ivan Posey. I don't know Mr. Posey. I don't know him, so I don't have an opinion. I would like to see a native face for District 33. Sarah Penn is a disaster. I have had interactions with Miss Sarah Penn, and she looks at me like I'm a piece of dog doo-doo, a piece of solid waste. She does. She doesn't have a clue. And I've seen her in action. In the beginning, I've seen her in action at different meetings and whatever, and she's very good at looking up on her smartphone what the rhetoric of the Freedom Caucus is on any kind of issue, and she just kind of, what is it, minor birds it, minor, is it? Whenever it's not a mockingbird, it's pigeon. No, she looks like a, no, okay, I gotta stop. No, she repeats it. She reads it on social media or whatever.
Mockingjay?
No. Yeah, like maybe. Yeah, there you go. She parrots whatever the Freedom Caucus is, and she has no original thought. Okay, so I don't have a problem with Mr. Posey, and I'd love to see a native face for District 33. So make up your own mind, folks. Another thing. Let's see. Oh, what else did? Another softball. The half-site economic development, county sales tax. He got up there and said vote for it. I was on the half-cent economic development committee. I was the one who came up with the MOVE acronym. And I was the chairwoman for that committee. And I'll tell you what, the commissioners are going to do what they want with that money. They had pet projects, very little say from the citizen committee. I was on the citizen review committee, and we would make our recommendations on different projects that this money would go towards. But the commissioners are going to do what they want anyway, so I bowed out. It's kind of a waste of your time. I mean, if the commissioners are going to do what they want anyways, I have a lot of other things to do, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so vote for it, don't vote for it. Some of it does go for transportation, the airport, WRTA, that kind of stuff. So make up your own mind, folks. But the money that's supposed to go for economic development, watch it. Watch where that money goes. Because it's not going to go to mom and pop projects that I thought they should go to. They're going to go for CWC projects, big names that can get money on their own. It was getting really old. CWC was always at the table with their hand out for that money. And I supported some of the projects, but it started to be like a trend over the same people coming to,
Yeah, you would think CWC would have its own funding.
They have their own foundation, dude. And they're CWC. I mean,
yeah, Central Wyoming College.
Yeah, I'm sure they have like a team of grant writers and stuff. So that it's a big name recommendation. It's not, I wanted to give money to the Hot Springs project, but they needed to come with a feasibility study before we could put taxpayer money towards it. And I don't know where that ever left, but I was rooting for the Hot Springs. I really was. Come on, show me more. All right, let's go ahead. And his Chase got up and was talking about a wellness center, $4 million for a wellness center, and an education building. I don't know where this is going to be built or anything like that. She was talking to the Wind River Cares guy, Rick Brannon, I believe his name is. Hey, we got to have a cancer treatment center. There's more to it than talking about it. I think people in the community have been talking about a cancer center for forever.
Yeah, cancer is on the rise.
So you've been in there, Miss His Chase, for 2 years. That's enough time to, if this is a passion of yours and you see a need, and you hear that your people need this, do something about it. I mean, why are you coming? This is like the 9th inning, and you're talking about a cancer treatment center. Okay, do more. She also was talking about food sovereignty, She was driving down 17 Mile for the meeting, and she's like, well, potatoes, we should be growing our own food. Well, you've been in office for 2 years. Why didn't you do something about it? It wasn't like, I've done this, I've made these steps, I've put these programs into place over my tenure. She's still talking about like she was campaigning or something.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay, it sounded good. Yeah, it sounded good. But I mean, you've had the job for 2 years and you didn't do squat. Okay, and then Harjo piped up and said that they're going to be getting a tribal stockyard, and that's going to have vet services for tribal members and their animals, that sort of thing. Which, I mean, it sounds cool. Can you imagine? Veterinarian costs are astronomical. Like something that happens to your cow, your dog, your goat or whatever. I'm at a point where, if something were to happen to a livestock of mine, I'd have to put it down. I don't have money to go get it fixed.
Well, yeah, we need to have proper vets on the res.
So she talked about that. I don't think it's again, it's just another kind of, we're planning it. Nothing happens overnight. I get things don't happen overnight, but Kim's been in there for she's been in there for a while. She's not a first termer. So she's been in there for a minute. Y'all need to demand more from your leadership. Okay, I need to start wrapping it up. I can't believe that I took over an hour, dude.
Doing great.
Gotta put my Facebook page up there. Check it out. All right, so other takes real quickly. Council member Lee Spoonhunter dipping out to take over the 477 program and become an election judge. To become a gatekeeper once again. How do you guys feel about that? You know what I haven't been checking? The comment section. Nobody's making any comments. Okay.
0 comments.
0 comments. We'll give it some time. We're still underground. Wait until I find out what's going on. Then we'll get banned. I don't know.
Maybe that's for the best.
This has been kind of therapeutic. And sharing this with you, and you're a young tribal member, you need to know this. Okay, where am I at? Banners, brand, I think. Yeah. That's the Facebook page. Let's throw up the YouTube again. All right. I think I kind of beat that one to death because I got fired up right off the bat. So we talked about that at the beginning of the show. And you gave your thoughts on that as well. Kind of weird. Should have stuck with it. See it out, man. What is the big deal? I don't get it. There's something more to the story, in my opinion. All right. We're going to finish strong here. All right, General Council, folks, September 14th, this Saturday at 10 a.m., Blue Sky Hall in E-City. Show up. Let's get quorum. Let's get some business done. I wanted to very quickly go over the agenda. So let's go take a look at the agenda. Oh, look at that. It's our Facebook page. Facebook page. Okay, let's take a quick look at the agenda. And then I have some spaghetti to eat. All right, so looks like the agenda here, what's going on. Let me take my tickers down so we can take a look at this real quick. All right. Oh, shoot. What is that? Someone commented? No, what is that? Oh.
Yeah, it's on Google.
What the heck is that? All right. Not now. All right. So let's look at the agenda. We're going to have General Council reports, and hopefully they won't draw this out. Mr. Lloyd Goggles. Oh, he's actually going to talk? I believe it when I see it. All right. The Northern Arapaho Economic Development Commission, April Goggles is going to give a report. That ought to be interesting. I don't hear hide nor hair out of any of these. I ran for the Northern Arapaho Business Development Commission as well. Didn't get on, but you never hear about these folks. I mean, what are they doing? So, kind of looking forward to that one. Miss Nicole Wagon has a resolution for immediate termination of the Northern Arapaho Tribe's in-house attorney, Claire Johnson. She's been asking for that for quite a long time. She's also asking for a resolution for immediate termination of Wind River Casino General Manager Patrick Leckrone. I'm not involved. I don't know what's going on at the casino, but apparently people are not happy with the work environment, how they're treated, the hiring and firing. Not happy.
Yeah, I can see that because it's hard to be a good boss and it's easy to be a bad one.
Yeah, exactly. And these are not like high-paying jobs, from what I understand. Yeah. They're like minimum wage jobs, and there's such a concentration of people that you can just go through people. Like next.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people apply there too.
Yeah, well, it's a main major employer in Riverton. Let's see. Confirm and verify the members of the Northern Business Council are abiding by the $50K annual salary according to prior General Council resolutions. $50K annually, man. Why are they even paid at all? Why aren't they at large? Seriously, they should be at large. Don't give them a salary.
Yeah.
This is not a 9 to 5, 5-day a week. I mean, we just talked about how many man hours. They were taking credit for things that are happening around them. It doesn't take 8 hours, 80-hour work week to take credit for something that other tribes are getting done in Indian country. Disappointing. I would change that to at large. Make them at large. Okay, anyways, my take, right? My take. Review the legality and process of a referendum vote for Northern Arapaho Business Council staggered terms. We all know who started that, the staggered term conversation, because he wanted to stay in and continue being a gatekeeper. But it didn't happen. So he said, screw it, I'm out. It's about me now. Anyways, recall a removal of Chairman Lloyd Goggles for allowing the referendum of staggered terms. Money was spent on this staggered term discussion. And I guess some folks are not happy that it got to that point where we were spending money on this issue. Okay, quickly, moving on. Frances. She wants to make some changes to the election judges and clerks. And she is also proposing a resolution enacting a corporate investigation and forensic audit of Circle Ridge and Steamboat Butte oil field operations. That's long overdue. Where is our money going?
Where's it going?
I'd like to know. Inquiring minds want to know. In all seriousness, I mean, this is our future, and if it's being mismanaged, we need to nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. All right, Darlene Lopez, review of the Wind River Casino Management. Here we go, the hiring, firing procedures, Gaming Commission, Human Resource Managers. Miss Darlene is going to lay it all out on the line as far as the casino mismanagement issue. And then we have the election committee, who is, I don't know if this is a rebuttal to what Miss Blackburn is going to be presenting, but you don't want to miss it. Serious business must get done. We have to have quorum to make anything happen, to adopt any of these resolutions and keep moving forward. And we have to keep moving forward. All right, on that note, I don't want to go over an hour. So, do you have anything else you would like to kind of add?
No, I'm all good. Thank you very much for having me on.
Anytime. And I will just say there was a young man who got up. It was during like the end of the meeting, and he was a young man, and he got up and he said, he got up and was given the microphone or whatever, and he said, the Northern Arapaho tribe is a joke. And I will also say that the BIA police were there. They were called, like, during the second half of the meeting. There was a BIA cop that was called. So I'm not sure what the whole issue is or whatever. But if you all are doing your job, you wouldn't have to worry about this kind of stuff. You know?
A cop came to get that guy? You said that?
No. The BIA cop came like halfway through the meeting. Nunez, I believe, was his name, which I thought was weird. I was outside.
So they're scared of a revolution.
Is that what they're scared of? Because we were all chill. Everybody was chill. I was chill. Everybody, you know. So they had a BIA cop come in halfway through. No, it was at the very end that this young man stood up and looked at him straight in the face. I mean, not much older than you, and said the Northern Arapaho tribe is a joke.
Maybe the tribal government is.
You know, that's scary. I mean, if our young people are thinking that our tribe is a joke, that means we're not exercising our sovereignty. That means we're not taking care of our people. It needs to change, folks. Hey, I got to get out of here. It's been fun. It's been real. Stay safe out there, all my relatives.